Yeah, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Afro V in the house. Just got to bring up this little article here that I came across today in today's newspaper. It's about these new driver's license, electronic driver's licenses, or RFID chip driver's licenses. Anyone who's kind of been on the tip of political, kind of underground, I don't know what you want to call it, progressive, New World Order type of mentality, knows what the RFID chip is aware of it. It is a mini chip that they're able to put into cards and even passports, I believe, already have them, and they essentially track your every move. And Canada is now bringing these EDLs, they call them. Pretty sure it stands for electronic driver's license. And they're bringing it out provincially. It's not being federally mandated. And so the issue here in this article is because they believe that this should be a federal issue and that it should go through the parliament before being implemented in the different provinces. Because essentially the Privacy Act, which is what constitutionally should deny such legislation and implementation of these type of ID cards, because essentially if I breach your privacy, the government is able to know everywhere we are, what we're doing, what we're buying, where we're going, why we're going there, how long we were there, anything pretty much. I know, I'm sure they're going to tell us to stop the terrorists, right? But the point is, it's a breach of privacy, and it's illegal, but I mean, what's not illegal, right? What's the Constitution? This is after the Bush era. The Constitutions don't mean anything anymore. So I'm bringing this up because I was interested to actually see this article. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up, because I for one thought something like this wouldn't even get out, because now, look at this, I can actually show this to people. I can be like, okay, let's take us down now, because clearly at least some MPs are bringing it up. So it looks like some NDPs. We got Winnipeg MP Pat Martin here. I gotta give him credit. His quote says, "The Privacy Act is federal legislation, and there's a very real concern that the expanding use of identification chips could compromise Canadians' right to privacy." Now, it's more than being compromised, it's pretty much being trampled on, but, you know, he said it as good as he could, being in the Canadian Parliament already. So my point is, we need more articles like this. We need more understanding. We need more awareness. People need to wake the hell up, because this is just the first step in a number of steps towards us being cattle. Essentially, do you want to be cattle? Because I don't want to be cattle. You know? So we're here to be in the land of liberty, freedom, democracy, equality. So let's demand that. Let's demand our freedom, let's demand our liberty, because this is disgusting, pretty much. And I believe that all Canadians and Americans should be, and I think are, disgusted by it. Those of us who know, which is probably like 5, maybe 10% of the population. So it's nice to see this article. Just thought I'd put it out there, and I hope I see more of it, and I hope that this essentially gets shut down. I know Saskatchewan actually was the only province so far to pretty much at least delay it, if not outright deny the passing of these type of ID cards, but they've at least delayed it for privacy concerns. And I think being a Manitoban and being in Winnipeg, we should also demand the delay at least, if not the stopping of it. So this is pretty much a call to everyone, not just my fellow Winnipeggers or Manitobans, but all Canadians and even all North Americans. Because essentially what this is, it's actually on a list of demands from America as to what they think our ID should look like. Now, why do they demand that we have RFID chips in them? Well, there's an extreme reason for this, and there's a politically correct reason for this. I'm just going to say the extreme reason first is because they want the North American Union, and essentially once they have that, they're going to have all of this information streamlined into one kind of, I guess you could say, supercomputer that will be able to track anyone and everyone, because we have these RFID chips in our ID cards that we need everywhere. to not only pass the border, but be identified by policemen, who will most likely have the power to turn us in for not having them. And so you can see where this is going. And yeah, so that's the extreme reason. And the politically correct reason is because there's heightened security, and in this post 9/11 world, you can never be too secure, right? So, what side do you agree with? Are we willing to give up all our liberties and our freedoms and our privacy, the most essential of freedoms, for terrorists, for 9/11? Because as far as I'm concerned, if that's what we're willing to do, then they won. They got exactly what they wanted. And what did we get? We got a lot of consumerism, where we think we know everything, we think we've got everything, but the reality, we know very little, and we have very little. So let's stand up and stop this. Thank you, Winnipeg Free Press. Who is this? Mia Rabson? Thank you. Good journalist. Well done. Great article. I hope to see more like it. This is RFID signing out.